everyone, it's Michelle Caruana from Play Cafe Academy and Profitable Play. And if you follow my Profitable Play podcast, you'll know that we're talking all about Play Cafe and indoor playground websites and booking pages and all that good stuff all this week and next week. Now, I talk a ton on my podcast and on my YouTube channel about how to market your business and drive traffic to your website. But something that I don't talk enough about here, and it's probably because I cover it a lot in my courses, is how to present your business and your services and yourself once people actually get to your website so that more of your browsers and more of your clicks turn into actual buyers and customers. So we're going to talk about it today, and we're going to talk about it on a high level. And I did put out, like I said, a detailed podcast episode about this topic today, about how to optimize your website and your booking page specifically. So this YouTube video kind of accompanies that because websites are something that are really hard to talk about in an audio format. So I dove into like a very deep 35-minute checklist about all of the different things you want to make sure you have implemented on your website. So if you haven't listened to that podcast episode, you're going to be a little bit lost because I'm just going to recap it very quickly in this video. So I'm going to link that podcast episode. It's episode 194 of the Profitable Play podcast. I'm going to link it in the video description. But if you really want to dig into exactly what makes a play cafe or indoor playground website or party page specifically high converting, meaning a large number of visitors actually convert into customers, go listen to that episode. It's so much easier for me to dive into these really detailed topics in an audio format because I have all my notes in front of me, and it's just much easier for me to get very detailed there. But in this video, I basically want to go through all of the 7 things that I talk about in that podcast episode, and I want to give you some examples because, like I said, it's much easier to show you what's working and how these tips are actually implemented and executed and what they look like in practice than talk about it in an audio format. So again, the tips are going to be on the podcast. This is going to be some examples of businesses who I think are executing these tips really, really well. So as a quick reminder, before we get into the quick recap of the 7 tips I have for your party booking page and your indoor playground website in general, I just want to quickly remind you that if you find this video or my channel helpful, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you never miss a video. And again, I put out completely different content almost all of the time on my podcast. There is a little bit of crossover content, but really not much. It's pretty much all original content. So if you're not subscribed to my podcast, you are definitely missing out on a lot of amazing tips and tricks and strategies, especially for my current owners out there or for the prospective owner who is really eager to set their business up for success from day one. It's so much easier to get it right from the beginning than to have to backpedal and troubleshoot and make all of these changes when we're already open and can only change so much, right? All right, so without further ado, I'm going to quick rapid fire go through the 7 tips that I gave on the podcast. Again, if you want details, go listen to the episode. I'm just going to go through some examples here, but I'm going to go through the whole list first, just so you know what we're going to talk about. So the first tip was implement clear and concise messaging. The next was utilize professional imagery and videos. Number 3, optimize the layout and design. And again, I'm going to show you some examples of businesses who I think are doing all of these things very well. And then number 4, this is birthday party specific, offer flexible and customizable packages. Number 5, leverage social proof and testimonials. This is something that is highly underutilized in the indoor playground business. And I have a couple of tips and tricks of how to increase your conversion rate even more by some super secret ways I like to utilize these reviews and testimonials and social proof. And then number 6, ensure a seamless mobile experience. And then number 7, implement an easy and secure booking process. So again, this podcast episode was really digging into the birthday party booking page in particular, but these same tips can be implemented across the board. So you can do the same walkthrough process with your membership page or really any other offers or services you have in your business. So the first example I want to go through is implementing clear and concise messages. And I'm going to use Pico Pie's Town as an example. Elle is a Play Cafe Academy and Playmaker Society member. She has been for years. She is absolutely brilliant. And I love her space and I love her website. And it's now even more clear and more concise now that she has multiple locations. So let's take a look at Elle's website. All right, so this is the homepage. And first of all, it's extremely clear and easy to navigate, but I really want to focus on the messaging here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose one location, and I love that they are all on one central website. A lot of indoor playgrounds with multiple locations will use two different websites, and that can be really confusing for the end user. We actually made that mistake when we opened our second location. So I love that these are both easy to find and in one place. So I'm going to choose Central Austin, and then right away I can see exactly what this business is about. And as a customer and also as a peer, I can make out their three main priorities in their business right away. And that's what I mean by clear and concise messaging. So right away, you can't ignore these very prominently placed call to action buttons. So book your play, book your party, and summer camps 2023. And then if that's not quite what somebody is looking for, they can scroll up and they can find events, memberships, shop, all that good stuff. What a lot of play places will do is they'll put their mission statement and their values and their backstory prominently on their homepage. And I love that Elle, the owner of Pico Pies, she has a lot of other features and their story and Meet Our Team. She has all of that good stuff in other places. However, she makes it extremely clear exactly what you can expect for her business right away. So that's what I mean by clear and concise messaging. I'm not clicking around in a million different places to try to find where to sign up for a play pass or try to find party information. It's extremely prominent and you really can't miss it. So that's what I mean by clear and concise messaging. And then again, if somebody wants to learn more, they can go ahead and scroll. The backdrop is beautiful professional pictures of her space, and you can learn as much or as little as you want about this business. But again, when I go to a Play Places website, I want to know exactly what that business is about and exactly what they offer within 3 seconds of landing on that page. And this website definitely passes that test. Okay, now I want to show you two businesses who I think are utilizing professional images and video really well on their websites. And I think what this really comes down to is letting parents know exactly what to expect when they set foot in your facility, whether they're visiting you for open play or whether they're booking a party. So many of our party clients booked our space sight unseen, meaning they had never visited our facility prior to putting their deposit down for a party. Now, this could be because maybe they were working during our open play hours, or maybe it's because you're a new business and they just haven't made it to your facility yet, or maybe they're traveling from out of town because this is your hometown and they want to celebrate with the family that still lives in your area, wherever your indoor playground is located. It is so important in 2023 and beyond to utilize professional images and video. Stock photos or blurry dark cell phone pictures are just not going to cut it. And I talk about this all the time, but this is one of those things that I'm not going to sugarcoat for you. And I have an entire podcast episode that I'll also link below. It's a different episode, it's episode 180. And it talks about exactly how to afford and get a positive return on investment from your professional photo shoot. So I break that down step by step. I give you basically a shot list of everything you had the photographer include. I talk about how you can barter your services with photographers if it really is just out of your reach financially at this time. So there is really just no excuse for not having professional images on your website. Now, of course, if you're not open yet, you're going to have to utilize stock photos. And one of the examples I'm actually going to show today is for a brand new business who hasn't yet completed their build out process. So that is the one caveat, right? Stock photos are okay if you haven't completed your build out yet, or if you haven't opened your facility yet. But getting a professional photo shoot and ideally a video shoot done as soon as you open should be an absolute top priority to make sure that more of your browsers are turning into buyers on your website. All right, so the first website I want to talk about is Little Layla's Neighborhood. And again, Nellie is a very valued member of our highly valued member of Play Cafe Academy and Playmaker Society, and her space is just beautiful. So let's check it out. So this is Layla's little neighborhood website, and I absolutely love how prominent the beautiful professional pictures of her space are. If you go through her website, you know exactly what you're going to get when you walk through the door. And you cannot tell me that you can take this high quality or beautiful of an image with a cell phone or as a non professional. So I absolutely love these pictures. And if you scroll down, she has all of the different facets of her space highlighted. So again, there's the little garden, there's the little neighborhood, there's the little sensory house, the little magic park. And she also gives a very detailed description of each section. So she shows the seating area, the party setup. So I love her use of professional photos, and I can definitely gain a sense of what the space is about and exactly what to expect as either somebody visiting for open play or parties, even if I've never visited the facility. So I think these photos are absolutely beautiful, and I love that she prioritized hiring a professional for a photo shoot almost immediately after her build out was complete. And these photos, I actually posted them with her permission, and they got thousands of likes and comments almost immediately. And that wasn't a mistake. These photos are beautiful and really highlight her space. And this is the main reason why I want you to prioritize investing in a professional photo shoot. All right, now we are on the Project Play website, and this is one of the best uses of professional imagery and videos I've ever seen for a play space. So, again, Alara, the owner of Project Play in Texas, is somebody who really prioritized marketing and prioritized hiring a professional to do photos and video almost as soon as her build out was complete. So, again, this is what I see immediately when I go to her site. So, this definitely makes me excited as a potential customer, and it makes me want to visit, and it just sets the whole experience off on the best foot possible. I can tell that whoever, is the owner of this business truly cares and is truly invested in providing the best, most high quality space possible for her community. So again, as I scroll down, I see more absolutely beautiful pictures that highlights all of the different areas of her space. So I know exactly what to expect as a potential customer. And again, I can immediately see her three big priorities as a business: open play, birthday parties, and discovery school. And again, a way to sign up for the mailing list, contact information. So her website also passes the test, not only in professional imagery and video, but also it's so easy to navigate. And she also has very clear and concise messaging. So this is an amazing example of a website. So great job, Alara. Okay, now we're going to go back to Pico Pie's website when we talk about layout and design. Because I think, again, even with multiple locations, that website is so easy to navigate and it's so clear. So let's dive in, and I'm going to share some things I love about this navigation process. All right, so we are back on Pico Pie's Town website. And again, it's because I absolutely love the layout. I love how clear and concise it is, and I love how easy it is to navigate. So again, I'm going to choose Central Austin. And as you can see, as I mentioned earlier, just a few moments ago, it's very clear where you can book your play, where you can book your party, where you can book summer camp information. And again, she has another navigation bar here, which is very easy. So let's go ahead and click on membership. Again, this is absolutely beautiful, and you can very clearly distinguish between the different tiers and what each one includes. So this is a perfect example of a very easy to navigate website, and it's very easy to go ahead and sign up and purchase your membership. So again, all I have to do is hit the back button here, and I can go to play. And again, it's so easy to understand the pricing, to understand what I need to do before I visit. So this is a very good example of an easy to navigate website where all of my different options as a customer are laid out extremely clearly. So again, I'm going to link this website in the video description. I would highly recommend checking it out because this is a great example of a high converting website that works very well for customers. All right, now we're going to get into flexible and customizable party options. And I talk a lot more about this in my podcast episode. It's episode 194. But we really prefer to have a couple very clear, very simple party packages to choose from and then having a very extensive add-on menu. Because if you have 10 different packages to choose from and you don't make it easy for your potential customers to distinguish what is different about every single package, and there's a ton of stuff included in each that isn't quite exactly what they're looking for, they're going to feel disappointed. They might leave and book with your competitor, and they might feel like they're paying for stuff that they don't need. So, again, I am a huge proponent of having 3 to 4 very clear, very concise packages, and then allowing customers to have that control of adding on exactly what they need, whether that's extra decor or extra time or party favors or extra desserts, or maybe it's an upgraded dessert or anything like that. So, we're going to dive into 2 examples right now, and we're going to start with Tiffany's business, another Playmaker Society member over at My Play Cafe. All right, so we are on the party page of the My Play Cafe website, and I absolutely love how these party packages are organized, and it's so easy to distinguish between the different options. So right away, you see 3 highlights of the parties, and these are differentiating factors for this business. It's why people love to book parties here. So first, you can see what all of the parties include, and again, bullets are so much easier to read and digest as a customer than big blocks of text. And this is what I really wanted to highlight. I absolutely love how this business has 3 main packages. Again, I like to keep it very simple. And this is a nice visual chart so people can easily understand what is and what is not included. And as I mentioned in my podcast episode, we all process information differently. So some people might want to read these paragraphs, but for me, I'm definitely a visual learner. So I love seeing visual charts, and I love these different party add-ons and activity and entertainment options. I love that everything is organized and easy to find in one place. But again, I absolutely love this visual chart, and I wish every party facility would include this on their page. All right, I know we've looked at Pico Pie's website a lot already, but I also love how these party packages are organized. So again, this business has 4 main packages, and you can clearly see which is the favorite. So again, these are very easy to understand. These are very simple. And I love that there are very easy to understand food and drink and entertainment and miscellaneous add-ons. So she's keeping the party packages extremely simple and easy to distinguish between, but she's allowing people to really control what they're paying for and what they get for their party. It's highly customizable, which is what I've found a lot of parents of young children want to see. So I love these visuals. I love how it's easy to understand. And again, all of the prices and things like that are right up front. So there are no surprises. So I absolutely love these different options. And I love that there are different themes. So again, this kind of goes to the social proof and testimonials. It's helping people visualize what their party might look like in the space. And again, the frequently asked questions are prominent. They're easy to find. So if someone does have questions or need more information, it's very easy to figure out where you can go to find that out. All right, now we're going to look at how you can utilize social proof and reviews and testimonials on your website, on your booking pages, and even on your checkout pages. Now, I mentioned this on my podcast, and I actually have an entire podcast episode all about how you can utilize your reviews and testimonials to increase sales. But again, we're getting hyper specific talking about booking pages and checkout pages here. But I mentioned on my podcast that studies show that over 80% of consumers look at and really comb through and read and assign a lot of weight to reviews and testimonials prior to booking a service like a birthday party. So this is really important. So I'm going to show you a couple examples of, again, how you can utilize different mediums of social proof. And by that, I mean video, quotes, pictures, written testimonials, and also screenshots into your website and your booking process to increase conversions, because we really want people to feel validated and secure in their decision-making process. And we want them to feel this from their first click all the way through to when they submit their deposit or to when they purchase your service. So let's dive into those 2 examples now. All right, so this is where I wanted to showcase some different ways to use testimonials. So this is my business plan toolkit page. And here I have some screenshots of people that are really, really happy with their business plan. Again, as someone is going through a sales page or a booking process, they're checking boxes in their minds. And one of the most important boxes is that this particular business is trustworthy and they've had success with previous clients. So testimonials are a great way to help people kind of check that box off and help them feel confident in their booking. So I have screenshots, I have quotes and written testimonials. And then if you go ahead and click get it now, I also have additional screenshots and testimonials right where people are entering their credit card information. So again, this is helping people feel extremely validated throughout the entire process. And then this is my Play Cafe Academy sales page where I also utilize a lot of different testimonial types. So if you scroll down a little bit, again, I have a lot of visuals because I do think that's very important. It's not just for birthday parties, it's for any offer, and it really helps people understand the differences between my different programs. So as you can see, I have smiling faces, and pictures with testimonials really helps make it seem more tangible and more real and trustworthy. So I have a bunch of different testimonials, and then I actually have an entire page on my website with about 40 different client success stories. So I have videos, I have quotes, I have all different kinds of testimonials. I have screenshots, pretty much everything you could want. So instead of cluttering my main sales page, I have a place where people can go if they want to see more examples, if they want to see more theme ideas or things like that. So this is a great place to highlight your blog or anywhere else you have theme ideas or testimonials or success stories, or if you want to send people to your social media, if that's where you post the majority of your birthday party pictures or whichever offer you're highlighting. So again, tons of different ways to utilize testimonials. All right, next we're going to talk about ensuring that your mobile experience is optimized. And if you take one thing away from this video, I want it to be that you need to make sure that every single page and booking process on your website is optimized for mobile. I was reading something in my research for my podcast episode that over 55% of web traffic in 2023 comes from mobile devices. And I would venture to guess that for the indoor playground industry, that percentage is much higher because we cater to very busy parents who are juggling maybe jobs, small children, and a lot of things going on in their lives. So I would venture to say that the amount of traffic coming to our websites from mobile devices is much higher than that industry standard. And if you don't believe me, if you utilize Squarespace or WordPress or any of those website builders, go to your website analytics. And I want you to actually check and see what percentage of your traffic comes from mobile devices. I guarantee you it's more than 55%. So something that I want you to, again, take away from this video is I want you to get on your phone right now. And I want you to open every single page on your website. And I want you to go through your booking and purchase processes from start to finish. And I want you to make sure none of the formatting is wonky. I want you to make sure none of your form or payment checkout systems get cut off. I want you to make sure that people are actually able to enter all of their information and they don't have to do a lot of pinching and zooming in and out on their screens. I want you to make sure your layout makes sense. And I'm going to show you right now how you can make sure that you're utilizing the mobile version of your website because most people build their websites on a desktop, so they optimize it for desktop traffic. But if you're not optimizing your website for mobile, I promise you, you are missing out on a ton of sales. So we generally use either Wix or Squarespace when we design websites for indoor playground owners because that is a service that we now offer. I have an entire team of professional web designers that just serve indoor playground owners. So I'm going to show you an example of a site in Squarespace. And if you utilize Squarespace or again, any website builder, this is how you can make sure that the mobile version of your website actually looks good. In addition to, of course, testing it just as an end user would on your cell phone. So this is actually a website that we designed for a client. And yes, these are stock photos. This is the one caveat because this business is not yet open. But I wanted to see how you can design your website to make sure the mobile experience is optimized. So of course, the best way to experience what your customers are going to see is to actually look at your website on a phone and go through all of your booking processes and purchase processes from start to finish. But if you want to see from a desktop as you're designing what your site looks like on mobile, and by the way, this is on Squarespace, all you have to do is go ahead and hit this button. And then instead of desktop view, I'm going to go ahead and hit mobile view. And as you can see, this website is definitely optimized for mobile. So it's very easy to see all of the different packages. There's the different pictures. Again, these will be replaced with real pictures. And it's just a great experience overall. So again, you want to make sure none of the formatting is weird, nothing gets cut off, and you want to make sure you go through the entire process that your customer would from start to finish. All right, lastly, I want to talk about an easy and secure booking process. And again, we're only doing online bookings in 2023. Of course, your staff can do a manual booking over the phone or in person if that's really necessary. But again, we are allowing customers to book online on their schedule at any time, even if we're closed. Because let's be honest, that's when most busy parents, especially working parents, are going to have the time and the bandwidth and the mental energy to actually search all of their different options and make a deposit. It's not going to be during the day when you're open. It's going to be probably like 10 o'clock at night. So you need to have the option to book online, secure a date, and put down a deposit. But before I get into the example that I wanted to share with you today, I wanted to mention two things. So the first is something that I've been noticing, especially in this first half of 2023. So recently, I started offering alternative payment methods online on my checkout pages. So Apple Pay, Google Pay, Amazon Pay, and PayPal. And I was really shocked at the percentage of my customers that utilize these forms of payment methods. So previously, I only allowed just a standard credit card transaction where someone had to type in their credit card number, the security code, all that stuff. And I think this is going to be even more important as Gen Z starts having kids and starts frequenting our facilities more and more. I was watching TikTok recently, and a creator was saying that Gen Z doesn't even carry debit cards or credit cards around anymore. And they're certainly not memorizing their credit cards like a lot of millennials like myself have done. So they really want to see these alternative payment methods that are just so much easier for them to make a booking in the moment, whether they're nursing their child or they're in the middle of preparing dinner or whatever the case may be. We want to make it as easy as possible for people to become customers of ours and actually make a booking. So again, this is going to look a little bit different depending on what event booking software you utilize, what payment processor you utilize, all that stuff. But I would highly encourage you to at least look into offering these alternative, easier payment methods because the easier we make it for people to book, the more bookings we're going to get. I promise. And then the second thing I wanted to mention is something that we just preferred in our business. And I mentioned this before, but that's offering just a few packages and then allowing people to make all of those add-on decisions and headcount decisions and things like that after the fact. So the main purpose of our booking page is allowing people to secure a date and allowing them to put down a deposit. And this is something that we could manage because we offered what I would call premier birthday parties. So we were only doing around 6 birthday parties every single week. They were very high ticket, so we were charging a higher price than most of our competitors. And this higher price allowed us to be very hands-on with the customization process and working with the customers. And that was kind of well, not kind of, it was a huge differentiation factor for us. And it's what really made our parties one of a kind. And, now that my kids are a little bit older, so my kids are 6 and 8, now that they're older, I don't need all of those extra decor options because to be honest, their friends don't really care. They just want to run around and spend time with each other. But when I was planning like their first, second, third birthdays, those parties were about the memories, the pictures. It was about, creating a really memorable experience that they can look back on because I knew they weren't going to actually remember it. So the decor and all those different options were really important to me. And I needed to accommodate adults a lot more. I needed to make sure there were enough food options. There were so many more moving parts because the adults actually stay at the earlier age birthday parties. Whereas now, the parents can't wait to drop their kid off, go shopping or go run some errands, and then come back when the party's over. So when the kids are a little bit older, again, we don't have to worry about the adult guests and the food and making sure there's enough seating. So all of those factors kind of played into this. So one of the things that really worked for us is again, just allowing people to secure a date, choose just a very base package. And sure, they could add add-ons right at the time of booking if they wanted to, and they could tell us their approximate guest count and anything they knew offhand. but we didn't require any of that to actually secure the booking. And we made it crystal clear that we would be personally following up a couple weeks before the party to get that updated head count, to see if there was any extra add-ons needed or decor or entertainment or anything like that. So again, your ability to offer that hands-on service and those highly customizable packages are definitely going to depend on your type of venue, if you're going to be a private rental facility, or if you're going to be more of, you know, every birthday party is pretty much the same, things like that. It really depends on who you want to serve and what you want your parties to be like. So that's just my opinion. I wanted to make it as easy as possible for someone to just secure their date and make a deposit. Everything else could come after, because if it takes 20 minutes for somebody to secure a birthday party, when do I have, 20 minutes of undivided attention? Not very often. So, just recently I was looking to book a birthday party for my son and I wanted to be so basic. And I had to go through step after step after step. I had to make all of these different choices, and it would not let me move on in the booking process until I made those. And that can definitely create a bottleneck for your business, and it could create a lot of abandoned carts. And we're going to talk about how to salvage those sales and how to get people that fell off during the booking process back to your website in podcast episode 195. So stay tuned for that one. If you don't follow my podcast, it's linked in the show notes. But again, we just want to make it as easy as possible for someone to actually put down their deposit, and then we can follow up after. So before we get into this, I just wanted to specify that a lot of these examples have a ton of options that you can place at the time of booking, but just note that they're not always required. So again, that's just my opinion, just my advice. It's what I preferred as a business owner, and it's what I prefer as a parent. So without further ado, let's get into some examples of booking pages. All right, we are back on the My Play Cafe website. I just hit the button book a party that we were going over just a few minutes ago. And I love how visual and easy her process is to complete. And a lot of the things that she has in her booking process are, like I said, optional, which I think is very important. So right away, I'm going to go ahead and select a category. So I'm going to do book a party for Lee Summit. And I also love that it kind of shows you how much left in the booking process you have. So many times I went to make a purchase or book a party and it felt like it was taking forever and like there was no end in sight. So I love that visual. So again, it offers the 3 different packages that we saw on the previous page. So I'm going to go ahead and hit select. Then I can go ahead and scroll to find a date. So let's check out May 27th. All right, perfect. So it looks like she's booked for her first 2 time slots, but she does have a 7 p.m. available. And again, I just love these visuals. And this is using Aluvi as the event booking software. So I'm going to hit next step. And again, I love seeing that progress bar. And it's, again, showing me the total price, which I love the transparency. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and hit 15, knowing that I can go ahead and edit this in a future time. We're going to go ahead and just pick a random number. Go ahead to the next step. And this is where I can choose all of my different add-ons. And again, I highly recommend adding this as an option for somebody that just wants to get it all done at once. But I also love allowing people to follow up with your team after the booking and see if they need anything additional. So I'm going to go ahead and hit add for this theme craft of my choice. And as you can see, it automatically adjusted that total. So I know as a party parent exactly what I'm going to pay. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit, I'm going to sign this, and I'm going to hit accept. Again, terms and conditions, I love that it's a separate link. So if somebody does want that additional information, they can go ahead and do so. And I love that the signature is implemented right on the party page. So many indoor playgrounds and party facilities will send out the contract afterwards and we'll have to chase down signatures. And that's just not an optimal way to go about it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next step. And I'm not actually going to go through the booking process, but again, I love how clear and easy this is. I love the visuals, and I love that it's letting me know how much time I have left to complete the booking before that time slot is given up. So overall, I love this booking process. It checks all the boxes for me, both as somebody who teaches indoor playground owners and a parent. All right, I also wanted to highlight the Sweet Pea's Play Cafe booking process. I just went to her party page and hit book online. So this is Sweet Pea's Kokomo, and this is using Acuity scheduling. So I'm going to go ahead and select weekend private party here. I'm going to go ahead and select one of her very clear 3 packages. So I'm going to do a picnic party. And again, I love that this add-on menu is very clear and concise. And I can go ahead and select my date. Again, this is very clear. So let's do May 13th at 4 p.m. And then right away, I can go into actually booking the party. So there are a bunch of questions, but again, not all of them are required. So I can fill out just the bare minimum details and put down my deposit and then follow up with anything additional later. I'm going to go ahead and click that I have read the terms and conditions. Again, this is an example of having all of the different options and the terms and conditions and policies on the booking page. So it's really going to come down to how important it is for you that every single person reads every single line. You're just going to have to do what feels right for your business. And again, I love that there are multiple different payment options. I love that she's adding the option to subscribe to marketing emails. And overall, I just thought this was a very easy and seamless process. All right, that does it for today's video. I hope you enjoy these examples of indoor playground and play cafe websites that I think are designed really well. So they're easy to navigate and they're high converting. So some of these were Playmaker Society websites, some of these were websites that we designed. So if you need help bringing your indoor playground vision to life when it comes to your online presence, again, we now have an entire team of web designers that can help marry professionalism and high conversion rates with your aesthetic and your vision. So if you want any more information, if you want to see our pricing menu, and if you want to do a free call with our team for a quote and to talk about your specific needs, all of that information is linked in the video description. Just look for the link that is titled Web Design Services. Again, our price menu is fully transparent and available online. And because we only work with indoor playground owners, it's very affordable compared to other design agencies and freelancers. And we know exactly what works and what doesn't work in this industry. So again, reach out for a quote, book a call with us. I'm so excited to work with you. All right, have a great day, guys.